name is Stephanie Madge, and I will be comparing two films by the director Akira Kurosawa. The first one we saw in class, which was Dersu Uzala, and the second one I watched was called Yojimbo, which means bodyguard in Japanese. I will be comparing Kurosawa's style in both of these movies, and along with his camera shots and angles. So a little background, Dersu follows these Russian soldiers through the wilderness as they're planning out like a map, and they run into Dersu, who is an older gentleman who has lived there his whole life, and Dersu helps the soldiers on their mission to landscape, and they become friends, and it just shows the power of friendship through that. And Yojimbo follows a drifter. He doesn't really have a name. I'm going to be calling him Yojimbo for all intents and purposes. But yeah, so they follow him to a small town where there's two kind of gambling tribes who are fighting, and the town's people are pretty afraid. So Yojimbo just decides that he's going to fix the town's problems by pinning them against each other to kill each other. So of course there's differences in both of these films. Dersu kind of follows along the themes of man versus nature, and Yojimbo follows along with man versus man. And of course the location is different. Dersu was filmed in Russia, which was Kurosawa's out of his comfort zone. He did most of his films like Yojimbo in Japan. So I thought it was interesting that he had the two different locations for both of the films. The time period is different. Dersu was filmed in 1975, and Yojimbo was filmed in 1961, so about a 15-year difference between the two films, but I still saw elements from Kurosawa's style in both of the films. And the settings were different. Dersu was set in this giant landscape that they were exploring the whole time, while Yojimbo is set in this very small little town. It mostly centers on the main street of the town. So some similarities to the film in terms of camera would be long shots. Kurosawa used long shots to set up both the film's locations. In Dersu, a lot of long shots, or extreme long shots, would be shown of all the forests or the plains, wherever the characters were, to set up the scene that they were going to be in. And in Yojimbo, the scenes were set up with long shots to show the gang tribes on the main street. The gangs would be on each side, and Kurosawa did it where we could see all of the tribe members, the gang members, in this gang. So it just showed the vastness of each side and what was at stake. I liked how Kurosawa did his framing. He would do a lot of where one person would be here, another person would be here, and then there'd be a person in the middle, and that's how we kind of set up the frame for the shots. An example would be in Dersu, when the captain and his second are around the fire, and Dersu comes in, and he becomes the center of attention, and it kind of directs the viewers to focus on Dersu and what he's talking about. And in Yojimbo, there's a scene where two gang leaders are in a close-up next to each other, and Yojimbo is just kind of like in the center, kind of controlling the whole situation, just because he was pinning them against each other. Also, Kurosawa did a lot of high-angle shots. In Dersu, one shot is shown from the tree, kind of looking down as the soldiers in Dersu go through the forest, kind of showing nature's supreme power over these little men walking through it. And in Yojimbo, on the main streets where it's kind of more like a westerny kind of Japanese movie where they're on the main street ready to fight with their swords, and Yojimbo goes up a bell tower in the center and kind of just watches as both the gangs kind of cautiously come towards each other and fight. So it kind of shows his power over both of the gangs and how he's kind of manipulating them to want to fight more against each other so he can fix the problem within the town. So yeah, I really liked Kurosawa's directing and camera styles within both films. It's obvious that he filmed or directed both of them. I haven't watched that many international films before, and I found his very interesting, and I want to explore more, and thought he was clever, and I would suggest both of the movies.